Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's Periscope. I am so excited to be joining you all, and the topic for tonight is the most important sexual organ. So if you are new to the group, I would love for you to introduce yourself. Write in the comments that you're new and tell me your name so that we can get to know each other. This is a space that is communal, and I want to embrace everyone and give anyone who's new a special welcome. So definitely, if you are new, please let me know. My name is Dianese, and I am a sexuality empowerment coach and work with people on how to have a more powerful, fulfilling sex life and embrace and live through their sexuality in the most powerful way that they can. So that is what I do, and that is what this channel is about. It is a medium for us to connect and really be able to talk about the topics that are seldomly talked about in our society, but are so important to our well-being and our fulfillment. Are you driving in a Tesla? I am not driving. I just got out of a conference and I'm sitting in a car. So yeah, I am in a car, but I'm not driving. We're parked. So thank you everyone for joining. Also I'd love to get as many viewers onto this Periscope as possible. So if you can please hit the little guy and share with your followers, share it on Twitter. We want to build this community as much as possible. So please, join me in sharing and inviting everyone to join. The finger is an important sexual organ. We're not talking about the finger. We will be talking about, I don't know what the Tesla channel is, but this is not it. This is the Sexuality Power channel. So tonight's topic is, what is the most important sexual organ? And the most important sexual organ is actually our brain. And that is what we will be talking about. How our brain, yes, the mind. Thank you, Marty Pickles. Thank you for shouting that out. So see, my finger was pointing to the brain. You cannot see the viewers, so you guys can type in through the chat, but we can't see you. You can only see me. I'm glad to know you're empowered to speak up. Thank you. And one of the things I will say is, this is a communal space. I want to create a safe space for everyone to be able to express themselves, ask questions. And if you are inappropriate, if you are disrespectful in any way, shape, or form, I will block you and you will not be allowed back in. And I do that really for the safety and comfort of my viewers and to really create a sense of community with you all. I am really trying to build that in this medium of Periscope. So let's get started. No, my driver is not in the show. I used to teach sexual health to young people 8 to 21s, mainly young offenders. Thank you, Marty, for sharing that. That is such important work. I myself am a sexuality educator and really admire anyone who's in the field as well. So thank you for joining. So tonight's topic is really about the brain, because, as we talk about sexuality, as we talk about relationships, as we talk about, how to make the life that you want, using that sexual power and energy that is innate within all of us, one of the things that we tend to focus on is our body. And, I've been talking a lot over the past couple of days about connecting with our body, connecting with who we are, our desires, but I really want to talk about the brain, right? Because our brain is what drives most of our body, right? If for some reason we were to have some traumatic experience that damaged our brain, regardless of how functional our body is, we wouldn't be able to connect to it in the way that we can if we are, in full optimal health in our brain. So, I want to talk about the true importance of the mind, right? When I get questions about sex and, why are women insecure, or, how do I connect more intensely with my partner? All of this comes back on some deeper level to the mind, right? So really, when we're engaging in sexual activity, when we're connecting with people, have you ever tried to ank your sexual... I'm not sure what ank means, but if you want to explain it, I'm happy to answer that question. So, when we tap into our mind really is a tool that we can use to further express ourselves, or really it can be limiting. And I want to go into that because, when we're in thought, right? So let's take the act of sex. Let's be very basic with this. So when you're about to engage in sex, it's all about the mind, right? Your body is connected to the mind, and if your mind is not fully present, if you're off thinking about other things, you're not connected 100% to the body. And the mind is really what controls our sexual response system. Yes, there is the physicality of it, right? If you get touched in a sensual way, your body and your mind are going to react to that. But really, you might have a sensation physically, but if your mind is not there, you're not going to feel the full extent of that pleasure, the full extent of that sensation, of that experience. So when I coach people, and what I want to share with you all is really begin to check in with your mind during your interactions, during your experiences of intimacy and pleasure and self-discovery. What is going on in your mind? What is ticking while you're engaged with someone else, while you're engaged with yourself in an act, right? I get people asking me, why do I feel the way I feel when I'm having sex? I'm not enjoying it. And part of that is like, what's going on in your mind? Are you judging yourself? Are you, yes, insecurities come up, always, right? Sometimes you can walk away from the insecurities, but if you're not doing that work with your mind to let go of those insecurities, to heal from those insecurities, then there's no way that you're going to be fully present and engaged with your body and your mind in the act of sex. It's just not going to happen. You can still enjoy it, right? But that deep, passionate, intimate, transcendental experience that I want, most of us want, is really gonna come when we let go of all these inhibitions. Porn has put such an unattainable standard on the expectations of sex. Yes, thank you, Marty. Marty, I am favoriting you as one of my viewers because I love your perspective that you're bringing in. When my insecurities come up, it makes it harder to enjoy. Yes, insecurities definitely make it harder, right? And that goes back to other aspects of our sexuality, right? How are we learning from ourselves, from our body? How are we connecting? How are we associating with our own body, right? If we are constantly having thoughts that say, you know, I have cellulite, my hips are too big, my boobs are you know, not as perky as they used to be 5 years ago. All of these things come up for women, right? And for men, it's like, is my penis big enough? Is she enjoying it? Am I hard enough? Am I flabby? Is my chest hair too much? Am I sweating right now? Like, all of this stuff just comes up, and it's chatter. It's distracting chatter that is keeping us from the full experience in the moment. And it's about healing. It's about healing from all these cultural expectations that are put on us. Like, no one is expected to look like a model. And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to fuck a model. Like, I don't find them attractive. I find, you know, voluptuous, sensual, curvaceous people attractive. That's my preference, right? And really tapping into that, like, am I thinking something because it's really a thought of mine, or am I thinking something because it's something that I learned through culture and society, through my parents, through what, you know, I thought a guy would want? Yes, you would if he was a hot guy. Probably. I can't say I don't find hot men hot. But, you know, it's like we're brainwashed on some level. And thank you for the person who said that. It's this brainwashing that we've been put through that really limits us. It limits our self-expression. It limits us from connecting uniquely to who we are, what we want, and letting go and being present, right? The mind is such a fascinating organ, right? It controls the body. It controls so much, yet it can limit us in the moment.